Don Hall. Hollis White owns and drives number 2, C.C. McD. Carl Eisner, the owner and driver of number 3, SCOTSBURN. From post 4 is Coppermite Fern. Bernard McCollum driving for Clayton McLeod. Island Tessa from post 5 gets Gary McDonald for William Hogg. Number 6, Rope the Moon, owned by Shannon Toole. Dave Pinckney at the helm. Dave Carey for Violet Bonaparte on 7, Cherokees Behavin'. Claire McDonald aboard 8, KILKERRAN PADRE, owned by Doug Ferguson. First race post time in 8 minutes. Behind the gate, SCOTSBURN, Coppermite Fern, Island Tessa, Rope the Moon, Cherokees Behavin', and KILKERRAN PADRE. They are off and pacing as they lead the gate. Off stride went C.C. McD. Sally Ironstone taking rail advantage, moving out, looking for the early lead. It is rough gated and has gone off stride. Off stride on the front is Sally Ironstone, driving up now to inherit the lead as they move by the opening 8th, Cherokees Behavin'. Out there 3 wide, Coppermite Fern is now second. Along the inside, back pacing is Sally Ironstone. They move down the backstretch on their way past the opening quarter. Cherokees Behavin' has the lead by a length. Coppermite Fern parked on the outside second. Down at the rail, Sally Ironstone is racing third. Then a gap of 2.5 back into 4. That is SCOTSBURN. From 5 is KILKERRAN PADRE. Island Tessa takes a look in 6. Rope the Moon holds down the 7 spot. And 8th and trailing is C.C. McD. 30 1/5 second was the opening quarter. They move off the top turn, entering the stretch for time 1 as they approach the half on the outside. Coppermite Fern trying to grab the lead away from Cherokees Behavin'. In behind them and sitting at the rail third, that's Sally Ironstone, gapped out by 2.5, now moving up into 4. That is KILKERRAN PADRE. 5th and moving on the outside is Island Tessa. SCOTSBURN dropping back to 6th. Then well back in 7 is Rope the Moon, and once again off stride is C.C. McD. They were past the half in 1:01 flat. They continue on to the backside for the final time. It's number 7, Cherokees Behavin', leading it by half a length, going a tough trip, but right there, second on the outside is Coppermite Fern. There's Sally Ironstone set to come 3 wide third. Inside, KILKERRAN PADRE is traveling 4th. Up on the outside now, 5th is Island Tessa. SCOTSBURN from 6th. They race on to the upper turn. Cherokees Behavin' now under attack from a 3 wide Sally Ironstone as they move on to the 7/8. Sally Ironstone on the outside now has it by a neck. On the inside, Cherokees Behavin' is battling back second. Along the inside, that's KILKERRAN PADRE now spotted third. Down the stretch they come for the final time. On the outside, Sally Ironstone under urging. Cherokees Behavin' holding game along the inside. KILKERRAN PADRE's up the passing lane. Sally Ironstone on the outside will get up to win it. It's tight for second between KILKERRAN PADRE and Cherokees Behavin'. Operating back in victory lane, the first race winner, number 1, Sally Ironstone, 3-year-old bay filly by Albatross out of the Racetime Dam, Dusk Time. Number Don Hall of Truro, trained and driven to victory by Phil Pinckney. Sally Ironstone pacing to a new life's best of 2:03 flat. Spurn 6, 4, Coppermite Fern 4th, 5, Island Tessa 5th, 6, Rope the Moon 7, 7, Cherokees Behavin' 3rd, 8, KILKERRAN PADRE was second. The quarter. Number 5, She's a Den, with Phillip and Milton Jenkins. Ronnie Matheson driving. EJ's Pride from post 6 has Ernie LAFFIN aboard for Judy Gooday. Post time for the second race in 8 minutes. It's post time. Stanfield Memorial Stake. The 3-year-old pacing fillies going for a purse of $11,488 has Happy's Misbehavin', GLENGYLE MARJ, RIPROARINSNORTIN, Basin View Vicky, She's a Den, and EJ's Pride. They're off and pacing with Happy's Misbehavin' and GLENGYLE MARJ. Those two out vying for the early lead. Crossing over, RIPROARINSNORTIN grabs a seat at the rail third. Now finding a seat fourth, that's Basin View Vicky getting away in 5 as they move on by the opening 8th as She's a Den. And a 6th and trailing is EJ's Pride. Seating arrangements are complete as they head on to the opening quarter. Out front, the heavy favorite, GLENGYLE MARJ, is leading the way by a length and a half. But on the inside, getting a golden journey second will be Happy's Misbehavin'. Then next in line from 3, RIPROARINSNORTIN. Back in 4, Basin View Vicky. In the 5 slot and looking to the outside, that's She's a Den, and EJ's Pride is still the 6th one. 30 seconds flat was the quarter. They make their way off the top turn. GLENGYLE MARJ is going unchallenged thus far on the front end, still there by a length and a half, with Happy's Misbehavin' content to follow in the pocket. Then RIPROARINSNORTIN will stay in third. Advancing first over, that's She's a Den, providing cover to EJ's Pride on the limb, now 5th, and now 6th and trailing is Basin View Vicky. They race into the lower turn, the half in a minute and 4/5 seconds. It's still GLENGYLE MARJ there by a length and a half on the inside. Happy's Misbehavin' is giving chase from the pocket. Moving uncovered on the outside third is She's a Den. Caught in 4th at the rail is RIPROARINSNORTIN. Getting a second over toe in 5th is EJ's Pride. And at the back of the field, Basin View Vicky. They move on to the 3/4. GLENGYLE MARJ, the one to catch, still on a 1-length lead on the inside. And getting a perfect journey, Happy's Misbehavin' is racing second outside. She's a Den third, going 3 wide now is EJ's Pride. Racing up on the outside, now third inside, caught in. RIPROARINSNORTIN is 4th. But GLENGYLE MARJ is the one to catch. 1:31 was the 3/4. It's still GLENGYLE MARJ leading it by a length. Happy's Misbehavin' second. On the outside, EJ's Pride. RIPROARINSNORTIN now has racing room, but nobody is going to get to GLENGYLE MARJ. She reports home a length and a half winner in the first division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial. Happy's Misbehavin' second, RIPROARINSNORTIN third. Of Arcane Hanover, out of the Walton Hanover Dam, Carabel Hanover, owned and trained by Roach McGregor of Winslow PEI and driven a victory by Kenny Arsenault. GLENGYLE MARJ pacing in 1:59 and 3/5. In victory lane to make the cooler and plaque presentation, Mr. Tom Stanfield, joined by his wife Beth, making the presentation. The winner of the freaking 2, GLENGYLE MARJ, your race winner. 3, RIPROARINSNORTIN third. 4, Basin View Vicky was 5th. 5, She's a Den finished 6th. 6, EJ's Pride 4th. The quarter in 30 seconds, the half in a minute, 4/5. 3/4 in 1:31. The mile in 1:59. And it's a condition pace for fillies and mares who are now winners of 9:01 last 6 or 5 races lifetime. From post drives from post 2, PRECENTOR SILKEN. Alec Monroe owns and drives number 3, DACTER'S. From post 4 is Sharp Gussie, owned by Earl Shields with Bernard McCollum in the seat. Driving this Tuesday from post 5 gets Phil Pinckney for John Arsenault. Leslie Parker, the owner and driver of number 6, Tenbagger. Coho Salmon from post 7 is owned and driven by Trevin Shive. Number 8 is Sherwood-FLIGHT, with Gerald Verge with Rod Jameson in the sulky. Post time for the third in 6 minutes.
Okay. Are there things you can learn? I know that people frequently talk about sitting a little bit and enjoying the day here at Truro. What's it like for you to come back and have a look around and make some contacts? I noticed you talking to Dave Pinckney a little bit back, and I know that people are thrilled to be able to talk to you. You must have some fun reliving some of the old memories.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys like Dave, I mean, I was stable beside Dave for a long time, and when I worked for Danny Myers, I worked for my uncle at Webby's Track, and that really was the first I was ever on my own. And Dave was working for Webby's, and he always had advice for you and, you know, could help you along, and always was very kind to you.
Race number 3, top of the stretch, Anna Scalypso, PRECENTOR SILKEN, DACTER'S, Sharp Gussie, driving Miss Tuesday, Tenbagger, Coho Salmon, and SHERWOOD-FLIGHT. They're off and pacing. Sharp Gussie off the wings of the gate first to grab the early lead, and Calypso down at the rail is away second on the outside. Driving Miss Tuesday third. Coho Salmon is out there 3 wide, racing fourth. Down at the rail in 5. As they move by the opening 8th, that's Presenter Silken. Then next in line, Dactylus has 6. Tenbeggar away 7th. And 8th and trailing in the early going is SHERWOOD-FLIGHT. Through the backside first time as they arrive at the opening quarter. That is Sharp Gussie out front, dictating the pace. Leads it by a length, and as Calypso is sitting in the garden spot. Then Driving Miss Tuesday is next in line 3rd. Coho Salmon has found a seat 4th. At the rail in 5 is Presenter Silken. Dactylus has 6. Now moving on the outside 7 is SHERWOOD-FLIGHT, and Tenbeggar can see them all as they move off the top turn. 29 seconds flat was the initial quarter. They move off the top turn and approach the half. Sharp Gussie now under attack from Coho Salmon as they move past the halfway point. Coho Salmon on the outside looks to clear the lead. At the rail second is Sharp Gussie. Back third on the inside is NS Calypso. Uncovered on the outside is Presenter Silken, now 4th. 5th and racing in along the rail is Driving Miss Tuesday. SHERWOOD-FLIGHT outside is 6th, but it's Sharp Gussie, rough gated, and off stride goes Sharp Gussie. Now moving on to take over, that's Coho Salmon, the half and a minute flat. The inquiry sign posted as they move on to 3/4. It's Coho Salmon leading it by a length on the outside. Presenter Silken now drops into the rail second. Inside, NS Calypso 3rd. Uncovered on the outside and racing 4th. That's SHERWOOD-FLIGHT. Driving Miss Tuesday has 5. Dactylus is 6th. 3/4 as they move on to the 7/8 on the board in 1:30 and 4. It's Coho Salmon there by a length. Presenter Silken is right there along the rail second. Outside and now showing 3rd. That's SHERWOOD-FLIGHT inside 4th for NS Calypso. They make the final turn. Coho Salmon leads them to the payoff. Now down the center of the track comes Presenter Silken. Coho Salmon. Presenter Silken. Coho Salmon will not be denied. Winning it by 2.5, 3 lengths over Presenter Silken and NS Calypso. First and will be placed 8th for interfering with number 4, Sharp Gussie, going to the 5/8. On a placing, number 2, Presenter Silken, 7-year-old mare by Arbro Dundee. The Oil Count Dam, KILKERRAN Gem, owned and trained by Jack Ferguson of Tattamagush and driven to victory by DARREN CROWE. Placed second, 2, Presenter Silken, was second placed first. 3, Dactylus, finished 4th, placed 3rd. 4, Sharp Gussie, finished 8th, placed 7th. 5, Driving Miss Tuesday, finished 6th and placed 5th. 6, Tenbeggar, finished 7th and placed 6th. 7, Coho Salmon, finished 1st, placed 8th for interfering with number 4, Sharp Gussie. And 8, SHERWOOD-FLIGHT, finished 5th and placed 4th. The fractions, the quarter in 29 seconds, the half in 1 minute flat, 3/4 in 1:30 and 4. And the corrected time for the mile, 2:02 and 1/5. A condition pace for now winners of 6:01 last 6 or 4 races lifetime. 1 is Belmont Saddam. Darren Crow drives for Cyril Rogers. And Tardy Mikes from post 2 gets Bernard McCollum for Mike McCollum. Number 3, Moscow Joe, owned by Darlene Burton. Dave Carey driving. MD Panic Shopping from post 4 gets Robert Phillips for Earl Skirman. Number 5 is Hollyview's Joe. Over Don Sutherland, Claire McDonald drives. Fred and Adrian Saunders, the owners. Sean Dixon will drive from post 6, Doncaster. Number 7 is BK Bruce. Phil Pinckney up for owners Bruce Kennedy and Rebecca Bishkoff. Number 8, Meticaris, is owned and driven by Jamie Ramsey Jr., co-owned by Lisa Matheson. Post time for the 4th in 7 minutes. Thanks, Moscow Joe, MD Panic Shopping, Hollyview's Joe, Doncaster, BK Bruce, and Meticaris. They're off and pacing at the rail. Belmont Saddam is out in search of the early lead. From the far outside, Meticaris fires off the wings of the gate quickly. Is driving up on the limb second. Up on the outside and racing away 3 is Hollyview's Joe on the inside. And getting away to race 4 in Tardy Mike's. Back in 5 is Moscow Joe. Outside and parked out racing 6 as they move into the backstretch. That's BK Bruce. Then back in 7 is MD Panic Shopping and treading the field Diecaster. They move past the opening quarter. Out front showing the way, Meticarous by a length and a half. Belmont Saddam is following along in the garden spot second. Next in line and racing third is Hollyview's Joe. Then a gap of 3-4 lengths. Back to Tardy Mike's at the rail fourth. Up on the outside, parked out is BK Bruce 5. They were past the quarter in 28 and 4/5 seconds. They move off the top turn and race in front of the grandstand as they approach the half. But Meticarous shows the way by a length, getting a good journey second. That's Belmont Saddam. Next in line is Hollyview's Joe third. Outside and going a long trip in 4. And uncovered is BK Bruce. 5th at the rail is Tardy Mike's. Moving to the outside from 6 is Moscow Joe. Back to MD Panic Shopping. And Diecaster is at the back of the field. They will pass the half in 59 and 2/5 seconds. They move on to 3/4. Meticarous is still the boss, now by a length and a half. Belmont Saddam getting a good journey is still at the rail second. Re-emerging third as they approach 3/4 is Hollyview's Joe. Dropping in at the rail in 4 is BK Bruce. Moscow Joe has 5. They check in at 3/4. And still on the front end is Meticarous. Belmont Saddam enjoying a perfect journey is peeking to the outside second. And on the inside is Hollyview's Joe now third. 4th on the inside for BK Bruce. Moscow Joe is within striking range on the outside. 5th, 3/4 in 1:29 and 4. They have less than an eighth to come as they move off the top turn. Meticarous is still holding the lead by a length. Belmont Saddam on the outside. Hollyview's Joe is entering the passing lane. Through the stretch they come. Hollyview's Joe. Meticarous holding on to win it. Hollyview's Joe up the passing lane to finish second. Third is Belmont Saddam. For number 8, Meticarous. 3-year-old bay colt by Happy Family. Under the Icarus Lobel Dam, Kid Icarus. Lisa Matheson. Jamie Ramsey Jr. of Truro. Trained and driven to victory by Jamie. Meticarous pacing in 2:01 and 2/5. Third, 2 Tardy Mike 7. 3 Moscow Joe 4th. 4 MD Panic Shopping was 8. 5 Hollyview's Joe 2nd. 6 Diecaster 6. 7 BK Bruce 5th. 8 Meticarous your race winner. The entries in the 5th race, number 1, Fiddle and Speed. Number William Andrew, Brian Andrew driving. Hollis White owns and drives number 2, Galavan. Northern Roll from post 3, number Darren McDonald and Craig Carey. Note the driver change to Ernie LAFFIN. Carey McDonald drives 4, Midnight Accolade for owner Peter Dunfield. Number 5, Right Pocket, number Willis Sittiker with Dave Carey at the lines. Number 6, Sherwood-FLIGHT, owned and driven by George Renison. 7 has been scratched from post 7 now. Number 8, Technophobe. Over Blair LAFFIN. Robert LAFFIN will drive. Post time for the 5th in 7 minutes.
Business that was built by your family and
has Fiddle and Speed, Galavan, Northern Roll, Midnight Accolade, Right Pocket, Sherwood-FLIGHT, and Technophobe. They're off and pacing. Galavan is first off the gate from the outside. Right Pocket leaving alertly. Down at the rail is Fiddle and Speed. Into the turn. They move on to the opening 8th. Fiddle and Speed. Galavan 3 wide. That's Right Pocket in behind them and getting away to sit 4th is Northern Roll. Back in 5 in the early going as they move into the backstretch is Midnight Accolade. Then looking at it from 6 is Sherwood-FLIGHT. And treading the field, that is Technophobe. They move on past the opening quarter. Galavan on the outside looking to clear Fiddle and Speed as they move on to the 3/8. Galavan now finally clears the lead. Has it a length and a half. Fiddle and Speed at the rail is second. Right Pocket next in line third. In at the rail and sitting 4th is Northern Roll. Gap of 3 lengths to Midnight Accolade 5th. 6th on the inside is Sherwood-FLIGHT. And moving out from 7, that is Technophobe. 28 seconds flat was the quarter. They move off the top turn and race through the stretch as they approach the half. Galavan is the leader by a length. Fiddle and Speed content to follow in the pocket. Now moving first over. That's Right Pocket third. On the inside and staying at the rail is Northern Roll 4th. Gap in the cover on the outside 5th is Midnight Accolade. Back in 6th is Sherwood-FLIGHT and Technophobe. They race past the 5/8. The half reached in 58 seconds flat. It's still Galavan leading the way by a length. Right Pocket is braving it first over. Locked up in the pocket, third is Fiddle and Speed. Up in the contention, spotted second over. 4th is Midnight Accolade. 5th and caught in for Northern Roll. Third over and racing sixth is Technophobe, and the seventh one is now Sherwood Finesse. They race out of the upper turn on the outside, and now sticking ahead in front is Right Pocket. Gallivan battling back at the rail second outside, and now racing third. That's Midnight Accolade. Fiddlin' Speed is caught in fourth. Outside fifth for Technophobe. 3/4, 1:28 and 4/5 seconds. They move off the top turn and straighten out for the payoff. Led home by Right Pocket. Here comes Midnight Accolade taking aim on the outside. Far outside is Technophobe. Midnight Accolade takes over, and Midnight Accolade will get up to win it. Finishing second looks like Fiddlin' Speed, then Right Pocket third. Accolade, 6-year-old son of Winner's Accolade of the Novelty Diamond Dam, Lake New York. Owned and trained by Peter Dunfield of Windsor and driven by Gary McDonald. That Accolade pacing in 2:01 and 3/5. One Fiddlin' Speed was second, 2 Gallivan fifth. 3 Northern Roll was sixth. 4 Midnight Accolade, your race winner. 5 Right Pocket third. 6 Sherwood Finesse 7. 7 was scratched. 8 Technophobe fourth. The quarter in 28 seconds. The half in 58 seconds. 3/4 in 1:28 and 4. The mile in 2:01 and 3/5. Exhibition Cup for a purse of $8,000. Owned and trained by Wayne Ellis of Stewiacke and driven by Phil Pinckney. Pushing Daisies has a life mark of 154 and 4. Career earnings of over $68,000 from Post 1, Pushing Daisies and Phil Pinckney. He's a 4-year-old son of Dexter's Nukes, owned by James Smith of Puslinch, Ontario, trained by Ian Reed and driven by John Holmes. Lifetime earnings of over $218,000 with a life mark of 152 flat from Post 2, Order to Go, and John Holmes. Phil, trained and driven by Paul. He was a winner last week in the Papermaker Invitational in 2:01 in the mud. A lifetime mark of 58 and 3, earnings of over $11,000. Number 3, Bonnart and Paul Rogerson. Classic Norris Rogers, lifetime earnings over $63,000. Mark of 54 and 3. Number 4, Classic Rock and Norris Rogers. 5 is Ad Exotic, 7-year-old by Nuclear Weapon, by Marcel Humet of Laval, Quebec. Trained and driven by Mike McDonald. Ad Exotic took his life spark last Monday at Montreal, 152 and 3. Career earnings of over $254,000. 5 is Ad Exotic and Mike McDonald. Number 6, You're the Man GB. 5-year-old British gelding by Today's Man. I'll be Ian Moore of Winslow PEI and Jerome Hayward of Bedford. Ian Moore trains and drives. This earner of over $92,000 lifetime with a mark of 154 flat. Number 6, You're the Man GB and Ian Moore. That's the field for the first Exhibition Cup. The entries are moving in behind the gate. Elimination. The Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup for a purse of $8,000 has Pushing Daisies, Order to Go, Bonnart, Classic Rock, Ad Exotic, and You're the Man GB. They're at the top of the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Ad Exotic from Post 5 is off the wings of the gate, alertly looking for the lead. Pushing Daisies down at the rail, drives out to grab the early lead. Ad Exotic driving up on the outside is parked out second and will find a seat now at the rail in the pocket as they move down the backstretch. Pushing Daisies intent on cutting the pace. Leads it by a length. Ad Exotic neatly tucks in second. Order to Go is next in line. Third in Order to Go has been Order to Go and driven to the outside. Order to Go driving on now, looking to take the lead away from Pushing Daisies as they move on to the 3/8. Order to Go on the outside. Pushing Daisies will now yield the lead and sit second. Inside, Ad Exotic under a firm rein is sitting third. Bonnart next in line. Fourth, back to Classic Rock. Fifth, and You're the Man GB is to the outside from sixth. 27 and 4 was the opening quarter. They race in front of the grandstand as they approach the half. In Order to Go on the outside now clears the lead and has it by a length. Pushing Daisies second. Now getting flushed to the outside is Ad Exotic first up third. Bonnart will follow that cover on the outside fourth. Classic Rock on the inside fifth, and trailing is You're the Man GB. The half reached in 56 and 2/5 seconds. They race down the backside. Final time as they approach 3/4. Order to Go on a 1-length lead. Ad Exotic is in pursuit second. On the outside and covered up and well spotted third. That's Bonnart dropping back. Pushing Daisies out the rail fourth. 3 wide. You're the Man GB from 5, and Classic Rock is sixth. They race on to the 7/8. It's Ad Exotic on the outside, trying to get to Order to Go. 3/4 in 1, 26 in 1. Order to Go, 3 parts of a length. Ad Exotic on the outside is digging in second. Bonard is right there with them third. Gap of 4 back to Classic Rock. Off the turn and down the lane, final time. Order to Go. Ad Exotic on the outside. Ad Exotic and Order to Go. Order to Go trying to fight off Ad Exotic at the line. It's close. Really, they win pitcher. Bonard right with them third. And Classic Rock will finish fourth.
Did you think you got there?
Yeah, I knew he'd won at the wire, but I mean, it was a tough mile for him, all right. Really, probably too much for the first trip.
Tell us about him coming into the race. He's coming off a lifetime best last week, 52-3. Obviously, he came in.
Now back in victory lane is the first elimination winner in the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup, number 5, Ad Exotic, 7-year-old based son of Nuclear Weapon, out of the General Star Dam Midi Lobel. By Marcel Humé of Laval, Quebec, trained and driven to victory by Mike McDonald. Ad Exotic winning his elimination in 1:55 and 3/5. In victory lane, making the Cooler presentation on behalf of the Atlantic Lotto, Gail McAvoy, joined by Carly Sparling and Trish McGinnis, making the Cooler presentation. The winning entry of the first elimination, Ad Exotic, under Marcel Humé and driver Mike McDonald. This was 6th. 2 Order to Go finished 2nd. 3 Bonart was 3rd. 4 Classic Rock finished 4th. 5 Ad Exotic, your race winner. 6 You're the Man GB was 5th. The quarter in 27-4. The half in 56-2. 3/4 in 1, 26-1. The mile for Ad Exotic, 1:55 and 3/5. Of the afternoon, the second elimination of the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup Invitational for a purse of $8,000. From post 1 is El Perfecto, 6-year-old gelded son of Arbro Emerson on the top equities of Truro, trained by Brad Jones and driven by Gilles Berriot, a second-place finisher in last week's Gold Cup and Saucer. A lifetime mark of 153 and 4, earnings of over $256,000 in his career. Number 1 El Perfecto and Gilles Berriot. Number 2 is Freshly Squeezed, 4-year-old mare by Jate Lobel, owned by William Andrew of Calgary, Alberta, trained and driven by Brian Andrew, life mark of 154 and 2, and career earnings of over $46,000. Freshly Squeezed from post 2 with Brian Andrew. Number 3, Run the Hub, is a 4-year-old son of Run the Table, the Wayne Webby of Dartmouth, trained and driven by son Mark Webby. Run the Hub has a career mark of 153 and 1 and career earnings of over $76,000. Number 3, Run the Hub and Mark Webby. Number 4, Keystone Lowdown, 7-year-old gelding by Dragon's Lair, owned by Adriano Perizotto and Mike Noble of Sudbury, Ontario. Trained and driven by Mike McDonald, Keystone Lowdown holds a career mark of 154 and 1 and earnings in excess of $297,000. Keystone Lowdown and Mike McDonald from post 4. 5 is Rally Fingers, 6-year-old by Albert of the Solitude Stable of Woodbridge, Ontario. Trained and driven by William Sharp Jr., a lifetime mark of 151 and 2 and career earnings of over $300,000 for number 5, Rally Fingers, with Bill Sharp Jr. driving. And number 6 is Glen Royden N, 8-year-old gelding by Royden Glen, owned by Greg Peck of Newton, Pennsylvania, and Ken Abramowitz of Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Trained by Greg Peck and driven by Walter Chevrolet, Glen Royden N has a career mark of 151 and 3 with lifetime earnings of over $87,000. That's the field for the second elimination of the Exhibition Cup. They go to the gate in 5 minutes. Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup second elimination for a purse of $8,000 as El Perfecto, Freshly Squeezed, Run the Hub, Keystone Lowdown, Raleigh Fingers, and Glen Royden N. Here they come. They're off and pacing at the rail. That's El Perfecto off in search of the early lead. Keystone Lowdown in the center, and driving up on the outside is Raleigh Fingers. They race out of the opening 8th. That is El Perfecto on the inside. Raleigh Fingers intent on having top spot as they move into the backstretch. Raleigh Fingers drives on and will take over. Getting away second on the inside is El Perfecto. Keystone Lowdown grabs the seat third. Run the Hub gets away in 4. Glen Royden N has 5. as they race on past that opening quarter and off stride, treading the field, freshly squeezed. Single file as they move on to the 3/8. 27-1 was the opening quarter. Raleigh Fingers out front is dictating the pace and leads it by a length. El Perfecto getting a good journey in the pocket second. Closing up that gap is Keystone Lowdown from 3 as they move off the top turn. Then next in line racing fourth, that is number 3, Run the Hub, and sitting in 5 is Glenroyden as they move past the halfway point. It's Raleigh Fingers unchallenged on the front end, still there by a length. Following up second is El Perfecto. Keystone Lowdown stays in at the rail third. Then back in 4 for Run the Hub. Fifth and still at the rail is Glenroyden, and back and trailing is Freshly Squeezed. The half in 56 seconds flat. They move on over down the backstretch to 3/4. Raleigh Fingers still the boss by a length, yet to move out of the pocket. El Perfecto is content to follow along second. Then there's a gap of 3.5, 4 back to Keystone Lowdown. Run the Hub moving up on the outside is now third, followed by Glenroyden. And on the outside fifth, they race on to the 7/8. 1:25 was the 3/4. He's got a shot at the track record, Raleigh Fingers, if he's pressured, and there comes El Perfecto peeking out of the pocket. They move off the top turn. Raleigh Fingers, El Perfecto is still following second. Then into 3 is Run the Hub. Raleigh Fingers, El Perfecto trying to get to him. Raleigh Fingers will prevail. Second is El Perfecto. Run the Hub finishing third.
Thank you very much. I didn't realize we were going that much. We're trying to save them.
All right, we can continue along here. We'll just speak here a little bit as we make our way back into the winner's circle. This horse was much better in the Gold Cup and Saucer Consolation. I know you were quite happy with the way he raced. Were you confident he was going to be this good again today?
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of races yet this year, and he's getting tighter every week. And as you saw there, he's pretty good today.
And you didn't realize you were going that kind of speed. Obviously, he was doing it unstressed.
Yeah, well, nobody come at him, so that helps.
Has he ever raced 2 heats in one day before?
No.
How do you think off of this trip he's going to be in the final? He looked pretty strong there. Are you confident going into the final?
Yeah, we always wanted to go 2 heats, but we've got to make a final with him. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how he handles it.
All right, Bill, congratulations again. The new track record, 154-3. We'll let you get back into the winner's circle. And again, that track record, the old
Ontario, trained and driven to victory by Bill Sharp Jr. Raleigh Fingers, the new track record holder, the mile in 154 and 3/5. Finished 6th. 3, Run the Hub was 3rd. 4, Keystone Lowdown finished 5th. 5, Raleigh Fingers, your race winner. 6, Glenroyden N was 4th. For 3-year-old pacing fillies, going for a purse of $11,488. Number 1 is Wind at My Back with Gary McDonald driving for owners Joe Janega and Ivan McKenzie. Marvin Webster, the owner. Walter Chevrolet will drive from post 2, Elm Grove, Cheyenne. Phillip and Milton Jenkins, the owners of 3, revealing with Ron Matheson up. Number 4 is Dexter's Delight. George Renison driving for Terry Osborne. Bob Leet and Cyril Reddy, the owners. Darren Crowe will drive from post 5, Portrait of a Lady. Dave Ratchford, the owner of 6, Woodmere Topper. Note the driver change to Ken Arsenault. Westover Jewel from post 7 has Ken McDonald driving for the Westover Stock Farm. Post time for race 8 in 7 minutes. Final is Glenroyden N. Leaving from post 2 will be Order to Go. Drawing post position 3 was Run the Hub. Leaving from post 4 will be Ad Exotic. Drawing post 5, El Perfecto. Leaving from post 6 will be Classic Rock. Drawing post 7 was Raleigh Fingers. And leaving for the outside post 8 will be Bonnert. Race number 8 of the afternoon, top of the stretch, second division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial Stake for 3-year-old fillies, has Winded My Back, Elm Grove Cheyenne, Revealing, Dexter's Delight, Portrait of a Lady, Woodmere Topper, and Westover Jewel. They're off and pacing. Wind at My Back from the rail. It is moving out to grab the early lead. Elm Grove Cheyenne on the outside second. Crossing over. Revealing will find a seat third. Getting away to sit in 4. That's Dexter's Delight on the outside. Portrait of a Lady is caught wide 5th. On the inside racing 6th is Westover Jewel. And sitting at the back of the field as they move on to the opening quarter is Woodmere Topper. They continue down the backstretch. Onto the quarter. On top, Elm Grove Cheyenne leading it by a length and a half. Wind at My Back is giving chase second. Next in line, Revealing is sitting third. On the inside, 4th for Dexter's Delight. Westover Jewel is looking to the outside from 5. Back in 6, Portrait of a Lady. And 7th and treading, that's Woodmere Topper. They were past the quarter in 29 and 3/5. The 3-year-old fillies continue off the top turn as they race in front of the grandstand. Elm Grove Cheyenne continues to chart the path by a length. Now working first over. That is Revealing. Staying in the pocket is Wind at My Back third. Getting a second over toe on the outside 4th. That's Westover Jewel caught in 5. Dexter's Delight outside third over 6th is Woodmere Topper. And Portrait of a Lady is now 7th and treading. They were by the half in 59 and 3/5 seconds. They move over to the backstretch. Final time. Elm Grove Cheyenne is under attack from Revealing. Caught in the pocket third. That is Wind at My Back. On the outside, covered up. Westover Jewel is racing 4th. Third over and spotted 5th is Woodmere Topper. That's Revealing. Driving on to take over the lead and opens up quickly now to 3 lengths. On the outside, uncovered second as they move on to the 7/8. That's Westover Jewel. On the inside, dropping back, Elm Grove Cheyenne. Woodmere Topper is wide now, racing third. In the center, Wind at My Back 4th. 1:29 and 1. It's all Revealing. Clear by 5 open lengths. Second now is Westover Jewel outside and racing third. As they move off the turn is Woodmere Topper for outside Dexter's Delight. But it's Revealing, and Revealing will take the second division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial. Closing up to finish second is Dexter's Delight in the show spot, going to Westover Jewel. Back in Victory Lane, the winner of the second division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial Stake, number 3, Revealing, 3-year-old brown daughter of Sherwood Abe of the Troublemaker Dam, Bare Naked Lady, over Philip and Milton Jenkins of Charlottetown, trained and driven to victory by Ron Matheson. Revealing, pacing in 1:59 and 1/5. In Victory Lane, making the presentation, Mr. Tom Stanfield, joined by his daughter Jennifer and granddaughter Emma. Also, Back was 4th, 2 Elm Grove Cheyenne 7, 3 Revealing, your race winner. 4 Dexter's Delight was 2nd, 5 Portrait of a Lady 6th, 6 Woodmere Topper 5th, 7 Westover Jewel 3rd. The quarter in 29 and 15 last 6, or 6 races lifetime. Number 1 is Woodmere Matty with Dave Carey driving for Linda Austin. Brian Ellis, the owner of 2, Lone Water Hobo with Jamie Arsenault aboard. Big John K. from post 3 gets George Renison for Theodore McLeod. Gary Chappell aboard 4, Erie Vale Star for Willis Silliger. Granite Gambler from post 5. Over Ken St. John and Don Short, Robert Laffin up. 6 has been scratched. 7 is Nightly Trouble with George Clish, Phil Pinckney driving. Bernard McCollum will drive. Post time in less than 8 minutes. Water Hobo, Big John K., Erie Vale Star, Granite Gambler, Nightly Trouble, and Scotty J. They're off and pacing Erie Vale Star along with Woodmere Matty. Those two off the gate first. Vying for the early lead, followed out by Lone Water Hobo third. Crossing over and finding a seat, Big John K gets away in 4. Back in 5, Granite Gambler. Looking at it from 6 as they move into the backstretch is Nightly Trouble, and Scotty J is trailing the field. Single file fashion as they move through the backstretch for the first time. Out front, Woodmere Matty will set the early tempo. She leads the field by a length. Following up in second, that is Erie Vale Star. Next in line at a 3, Lone Water Hobo. Big John K is pacing along 4th and looking to the outside. Followed 5th, who drives up on the outside to pick up cover. That is Nightly Trouble. Then back sitting in 6 as they move off the top turn, Granite Gambler. And at the back of the field is Scotty J, 29. And 1/5 second was the opening quarter. They move off the turn and approach the half. Woodmere Matty continues on a 1-length lead. Erie Vale Star getting a golden trip second. Gap of a length and a half back to Big John K third. Uncovered outside 4th. That's Nightly Trouble. 5th and locked into the rail is Lone Water Hobo. Second over and spotted 6th is Granite Gambler, and Scotty J can see them all as they move on to the backstretch. The half, 59 and 1/5 second. They head to 3/4 led by Woodmere Matty. She's still there on a 1-length lead. Getting a perfect trip second, Erie Vale Star. Outside and grinding it out first over. That is Nightly Trouble third. Followed on the outside 4th by Granite Gambler. 5th and locked in is Big John K. Third over now. Scotty J is up into contention 6th. They race on over to the 7/8. 3/4 in 1:30. Woodmere Matty's the one to catch. She's still holding a 1-length lead. Nightly Trouble on the outside. In the pocket and locked up awaiting the passing lane is Erie Vale Star. Now tipping 3 wide off cover. Here comes Granite Gambler 4th. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Woodmere Matty try to hold them off on the inside. Erie Vale Star outside Nightly Trouble. Woodmere Matty, Erie Vale Star up the line. It's too close. What a way to win pitcher. The show spot going to Nightly Trouble. Annihilator Dam, not a bit. Owned and trained by Willis Silker of Summerside and driven by Gary Chappell. Erie Vale Star in 2 minutes and 2/5. Race number 1, Woodmere Matty was second. 2 Lone Water Hobo 7th. 3 Big John K 5th. 4 Erie Vale Star the winner. 5 Granite Gambler 4th. 6 was scratched. 7 Nightly Trouble 3rd. 8 Scotty J was 6th. The quarter in 29, 1,500 last 6. Number 1, Glad to Serve, owned by Rose Shaw and Jim Lyons with Jim driving. Number 2 has been scratched. Island Rhett, number 3, with Ernie LAFFIN driving for Jim Rowe. Greg Monroe is the owner and driver of number 4, Moscow Chip. Todd Treitz aboard number 5, Happy Family for Jim Shive. Number 6 has been scratched. Sunny Side of Street is the 7 over Glenn Smith. Rod Jameson at the lines. Number 8, Who's a Gem over Leo McDonald and Roddy Graham with Dave Carey aboard. Post time for the 10th in 9 minutes. Race number 10, top of the stretch, has Glad to Serve, Island Rhett, Moscow Chip, Happy Family, Sunny Side of Street, and Who's a Gem. They're off and pacing from the outside. Sunny Side of Street is off the wings of the gate, quickly looking to grab the early lead. Glad to Serve moving out from the rail will get away second up on the limb and racing third. That is Moscow Chip, but on the inside, Island Red emerges in 4, back in 5. That's Happy Family, and 6th and trailing as they head into the backstretch. For the first time is Who's a Gem. Driving up now on the outside, Moscow Chip is moving on and will take the lead away from Sunny Side of Street. Then tied up sitting third at the rail is Glad to Serve, back in 4. That is Island Red. Looking at it from 5 in the early going is Happy Family, and 6th and trailing is Who's a Gem. They were by the quarter in 29 and 2/5 seconds. Moving up now to reclaim the lead. That's Sunny Side of Street, leading it now by a length as they move off the top turn. Back in the pocket is Moscow Chip, then Glad to Serve next in line. Will stay at the rail third. Now moving up first over in 4 as they approach the halfway point is Happy Family, followed on the outside by Who's a Gem, and Island Red is at the back. Throwback. They move past the halfway point. Happy Family is moving alongside Sunny Side of Street as they head on to the 5/8. On the inside, Sunny Side of Street, braving it first over is Happy Family. Then locked up in the box, that's Moscow Chip third. Well spotted second over, Who's a Gem on the outside with cover fourth. Down inside and racing in 5 is Glad to Serve. And on the outside from 6, Island Red, they race in pairs on to 3/4 a minute. 2/5 was the half. It's Sunny Side of Street by 3/4 of a length. Happy Family on the outside is giving chase second along the inside and racing third as they head to the top turn. That is Moscow Chip outside. Who's a Gem is racing fourth inside. Glad to Serve has 5. And Island Red 3/4 in 1:30. They move off the top turn and straighten out for the stretch drive. Led home by Sunny Side of Street. Happy Family on the outside second into the passing lane. Goes Moscow Chip third. Through the stretch, Sunny Side of Street. Happy Family, Moscow Chip. Sunny Side of Street will win it. Finishing second. It's tight between Happy Family and Moscow Chip. Now back in victory lane, the winner of race 10, number 7, Sunny Side of Street, 4-year-old Chestnut Son of Warm Breeze. It'll be on the road again, Dam Canal Street. Owned and trained by Glenn Smith of Truro and driven by Ron Chamberlain. Sunny Side of Street, pacing in 1:59 and 3/5. 4 Moscow Chip and 5 Happy Family. One Glad to Serve was 6th. 2 was scratched. 3 Olive Red 5th. 4 Moscow Chip finished second in a dead heat. 5 Happy Family was second in a dead heat. 6 was scratched. 7 Sunny Side of Street, your race winner. 8 Who's a Gem was 4th. The quarter in 29. Field Memorial Stake for 3-year-old pacing fillies. They go for a purse of $11,488. From post 1, Blue Meadow Ollie has Gary Chappell driving for Ralph Frizzell. Lewis Clark, the owner of 2, Kiermore, with Kenny Arsenault driving. Island Tradition from post 3, Albemarle Kerr and Claire McDonald with Claire up. Todd Treitz aboard number 4, PH Happy Cat for owner Trevin Shive. Bob McGinnis owns and drives number 5, Ravor. Ron Matheson, Walter Simmons and Rod Matheson, the owners. Ron Matheson, the driver of 6, Woodmere Lofty. And from post 7, Southern Jewel has Ernie Laffin aboard for Roger Watkins. Post time is in 8 minutes. And the gate's moving. Race 11, the third and final division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial Stake for 3-year-old fillies, going for a purse of $11,488, has Blue Meadow Ollie, Kiermore, Island Tradition, PH Happy Cat, Ravor, Woodmere Lofty, and Southern Jewel. They're off and pacing off the gate quickly. Island Tradition out in search of the early lead. Blue Meadow Ollie down at the rail gets away second. Up on the outside, PH Happy Cat is caught wide, racing third. On the inside, that's Kiermore to get away in 4. Back in 5 as they head down the backstretch for time 1. That is Ravor. Then looking at it from 6, Woodmere Lofty outside 7. That's Southern Jewel. They make their way past the opening quarter. On top, Island Tradition taking over the top spot. On the outside, PH Happy Cat is parked out second. On the inside is Blue Meadow Ollie racing in 3. Back in 4 as they continue past the 3/8 is Kiermore. They were past the quarter in a brisk 27 and 4/5 seconds. They move off the top turn and approach the half. Island Tradition with the lead. Getting parked to the outside. That's PH Happy Cat racing second. Down in the pocket third. Blue Meadow Ollie looking to the outside from 4 is Kiermore. Back in 5 at the rail is Ravor. Outside here comes Southern Jewel. Moving up on the limb from 6 and lagging behind Woodmere Lofty. They were past the half in 57 seconds flat. Island Tradition on the front end by 3/4 of a length. PH Happy Cat on on the outside will now find a seat at the rail. Moving up, uncovered third, that's Southern Jewel. Back fourth, Blue Meadow Ollie. In five, into the outside goes Kearmore, but it's out in tradition. Clear by 2 lengths on the outside is Southern Jewel, taking aim second. Down inside and racing third is PH Happy Cat. Then a gap of 5 lengths back into 4, and moving up is Ravor. 3/4 in 1:27 and 4. It's out in tradition, leading it by half a length. Southern Jewel is right there on the outside. Second, PH Happy Cat laboring at the rail. Third, Ravor is fourth. Down the stretch they come, final time. Island Tradition under attack from Southern Jewel. Island Tradition, Southern Jewel, and Ravor is closing up. Island Tradition holding on to win it by half a length. Southern Jewel second. Third is Ravor.
Race, you drew inside today of PH Happy Cat, and it looked as though you were intent on maintaining that lead.
Well, it's the first time all year I got to see the other side of that filly. I've been looking at her from the left-hand side all summer, and it's been getting kind of sick, and she just seems to draw good and get to the front. This mare just from behind her, so that if I had my chance today and looked for a little while like she was going to get a chance to drop in the 2-hole, and I was trying my best to keep her from getting it, because, you know, she's real iron-sided. The old horse puts them out as tough as nails, and that in order to beat her, I'd have to rough her up as much as I could, and that's the way it worked out. Luckily, we were able to hang on and beat Roger Watkins' filly home, because I felt he was getting tired. You know, she's never gone those kind of fractions off the front before. And
the daughter of This Cam's For You, out of the Big Tower Dam Exquisite Hanover. Owned by Maura Kerr of Truro and Claire McDonald of Antigonish, trained and driven to victory by Claire McDonald. Claire giving Island Tradition a new life's mark of 158 and 3/5. Mr. Tom Stanfield down in Victory Lane, making the presentation to the winning connections of Island Tradition, Maura Kerr and Claire McDonald. Island Tradition winning the fastest division of the Frank and Beth Stanfield Memorial, 158. 2, Kearmore was 6th. 3, Island Tradition, your race winner. 4, PH Happy Cat, 4th. 5, Ravor was 3rd. 6, Woodmere Lofty, 7. 7, Southern Jewel finished 2nd. The quarter was 27 and 4. She's now on the track and parading for the 12th and final dash of the afternoon, the $55,800 final of the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup. Number 1 entry, Glen Royden N, has been scratched lame from post 1 now. Number 2, Order to Go, owned by Jim Smith of Puslynch, Ontario, with John Holmes driving. Number 3 is Run the Hub, owned by Wayne Webby of Dartmouth. Mark Webby drives. Number 4 is Ad Exotic, owned by Marcel Humet of Laval, Quebec. Mike McDonald at the lines. Number 5 is El Perfecto, owned by Tap Equities of Truro, with Gilles Berriot in the sulky. Norris Rogers aboard number 6, Classic Rock, for the Boss Hog Stable of Dartmouth. Number 7 from post 6 is Raleigh Fingers, over the Solitude Stable of Woodbridge, Ontario. Bill Sharp Jr. at the lines. And number 8 is Bonart, by Paul and Andrew Rogerson of Westville, with Paul Rogerson in charge. Post time for the final of the Exhibition Cup is in less than 8 minutes. Race number 12 of the afternoon, the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup final for a purse of $55,800, has Order to Go, Run the Hub, Ad Exotic, El Perfecto, Classic Rock, Raleigh Fingers, and Bonart. Here they come. They're off and pacing. El Perfecto will get the first call. Raleigh Fingers from the outside is also leaving it early, and down inside, Order to Go. They race on to the opening eighth. El Perfecto in the center is moving on, looking for the lead down at the rail. Order to Go has rail control and will take the lead into the backstretch. On the outside, Raleigh Fingers is caught on the limb, racing third on the inside, and pacing on a 4 in the early going. That's Ad Exotic. Then Run the Hub is back in 5, followed by Classic Rock from 6, and trailing the field in the early going, that's Bonnet. Raleigh Fingers on the outside, drives right on past to grab the lead. Order to Go is now sitting in the pocket. Back at the rail and racing at a 3 is El Perfecto. Ad Exotic has a decision to make in the 4, and he will get flushed to the outside as they round the top turn. 27-2 was the opening quarter. Raleigh Fingers leads them up past the halfway point, has the lead by a length. Sitting in the pocket, that's Order to Go. Now the first to sacrifice. Ad Exotic is working first over third. On the inside, El Perfecto is locked in at the rail, racing fourth. Classic Rock will follow. Live Cover on the outside is second over fifth. Inside Run the Hub is buried out the rail in 6, and Bonnet can see them all. He moves to the outside from 7. The half in 57 seconds flat. They're on their way to 3/4. It's Raleigh Fingers, the track record holder, on a 1-length lead. On the outside, Ad Exotic is inching in second. Locked up in the pocket, awaiting the passing lane. Order to Go is racing third, following fourth. That's El Perfecto. Classic Rock gapped out fifth. They head past the 7/8. Raleigh Fingers is the one to catch. Still there by a length. 3/4 and 1, 26-2. Raleigh Fingers leading it by 1. Ad Exotic going a tough, grueling trip on the outside is second. Order to Go is into the passing lane. Raleigh Fingers, Ad Exotic, Raleigh Fingers, Order to Go. Oh, it looks like Ad Exotic in the final stride.
Like, I think the only reason, like, that he got Raleigh Fingers is it was 2 heats today, you know, and that's hard on that old horse. This horse here is fairly sound, and Bill's horse, like, I mean, you know, and he'd had trouble handling him, you know, on a single heat, but the second heat, like, helped this thing more than.
Tell us about the trip. You had the unenviable task of having to come first up against Raleigh Fingers. You raced a long way on the outside at the top of the stretch. That was a.
I wasn't going to give up after the Gold Cup, didn't you?
At the top of the stretch, Mike, you'd been out a long way. Did you really think at that point you were going to get it?
Yeah, he never, like, he would never quit, you know. I mean, I didn't know if I was going to get it for sure, but I knew if they let up and he was going to get it.
And will we see this guy in St. John for the Provincial Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Congratulations, Mike McDonald. Ad Exotic, an elimination winner, comes back and scores in the final of the Exhibition Cup, 156-1. Let's turn it back up to track announcer Joe Kelly.
Now back in Victory Lane is the winner of the 1999 Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Cup. Number 4, Ad Exotic, a 7-year-old son of Nuclear Weapon out of the General Star Dam, Midi Lobel, by Marcel Humet of Laval, Quebec, trained and driven to victory by Mike McDonald. Ad Exotic winning in 156 and 1/5. At trackside, making the Exhibition Cup presentation, the Honorable Jamie Moore, the MLA for Truro Bible Hill, and the Minister of Health for the province of Nova Scotia, Mr. Muir, making the presentation to the winning connections of Ad Exotic, Marcel Humet, trainer-driver Mike McDonald. Ad Exotic winning in 156 and 1. Also joining in on the presentation, Billy O'Donnell, along with Gail McAvoy of Atlantic Lotto, and Cyril Reddy from the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition.